welcome back to Milky and Sis. And before we start the video, we just want to thank all our 100 subscribers for being there since the start. So in honor of that, today we're going to be making Macarons. They're yummy, delicious, but very tricky to make, but it's not impossible. So let's get started. First, you're going to start off with 3 room temperature eggs. So you're going to just crack them into a bowl, and then with your hands you could separate the yolk. It's easier to separate the yolk with your hand so you don't end up puncturing it.
Now we're going to set this aside. Now let's move on to the dry ingredients.
So the first ingredient is 1 cup and 3/4 cups of powdered sugar.
Now add 1 cup of almond flour.
½ teaspoon of salt.
Now grind all of the dry ingredients.
We're grinding the dry ingredients so that the flour and everything gets mixed and it becomes nice and fine ingredients. Now we're gonna go ahead and sift our dry ingredients to get a nice and smooth top on the macarons. And sift it a few times so that the top will be very fine and really nice and soft. So we went ahead and sifted it 2 times, and now let's move on to our wet ingredients. For the wet ingredients, we're going to start off by beating the 3 egg whites we've cracked at the beginning. And before you start beating it, we're going to add a pinch of salt. Now we're going to beat the eggs. So now we're going to mix the eggs, and they have to become really bubbly and frothy so that the macarons are easier to pipe and they won't become liquidy when we pipe them onto the parchment paper. And as you could see, it's starting to bubble, so just keep on mixing it. Now we're going to go ahead and add granulated sugar little by little, because if you add a lot at this one time, then all the fluffiness and that you whipped up will go away. So add little sugar at a time. So as you can see, I'm mixing it, and I take my mixer out, and then the fluffiness and it just fell and it didn't stay stiff on the top. So that means it's not ready yet, and you have to mix it till the fluffiness kind of actually stays stiff on top, like stiff peaks. Okay, so once your peaks are like this, like when you take it out and they're stiff, that means you can move on to the next step. The peaks should look something like these. So if the stiffs are really stiff, then you can actually flip the bowl over your head without it dropping. See, it didn't drop. Now we're gonna add ½ teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now mix the vanilla extract. Now we're gonna add food coloring. We're gonna make it pink. So we're adding 2 drops, and little goes a long way, so it will turn pink. Now we're gonna add 1/3 of the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Just like that. And you're just gonna mix it. And you have to be a little aggressive and make sure you get everything inside and mix in everything. Now add in all the dry ingredients and just keep on mixing it until it's a nice sandy texture. Some people say a volcano texture, but not a lot of us seen volcano before, so yeah. So if a tried and true technique is that if you can make a figure 8 without the batter breaking, if the batter keeps on breaking like this, then that means you'll have to mix more, and you have to mix till you can make a perfect 8 shape without breaking. As you can see, the batter is all mixed right now, and we were also able to make a figure 8 without it breaking, and at least 2 more too. So at this point, stop mixing, and we're going to go on to the next part. Now fill the piping bag. Now we're gonna pipe some of the batter at the edges of the corners of the pan, so when we put the parchment paper, it sticks properly. Now let's pipe the macaron. So you can make the macaron size like 1.5 inch big, something like that. You can buy like a sheet that has like circles, but like you can also like just see it by like eyeballing it. So we piped all the macarons onto the tray, and as you can see, there's air bubbles. So basically, you have to drop the tray just like that, and air bubbles will start to come out. And then you're just gonna leave this for 30 to 60 minutes until you can touch the top without it sticking. Something like this. It didn't stick. Just like that, we have an whole army of macarons here. So we let them rest for like at least 1 hour. And if I go ahead and I rub my finger over it, it's not sticking to my finger. That means they're ready. So now we can pop them in the oven. Make sure to put the oven for 300 Fahrenheit, and we're gonna bake these for 17 minutes. So we placed the macarons inside, and now we're gonna put cook time for 17 minutes. And do not open the oven, or you might risk it deflating the macarons. So after 17 minutes, then you can go ahead and open it. So as you can see, the macarons are done. So now we're gonna take it out. Oh, look at them. They smell so delicious. So as you can see, they just pop off right like this. And if it doesn't pop off just like off the tray easily, then you can go ahead and put it back in the oven for a few minutes, and then it should come off. So it should pop off just like this, like it just pops right off. Let it cool for 30 minutes so that it's like nice and like room temperature, so that when we add the buttercream, the buttercream doesn't melt. Now we're going to make the filling. So for the filling, we're using 1 cup of butter.
Mix the room temperature butter.
Add 3 cups of powdered sugar.
Now mix.
Add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now add 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. And it depends on how much you want and what type of consistency you want. So we shift the buttercream into a piping bag, and now we're going to pipe the cookies. Just like that. And look how perfect this macaron is. Now we're gonna go ahead and pipe all the macarons, and we'll be back when they're ready.
It's done now.
And it's tasting time.
I made little ones and my sister made
Big ones. Look at how perfect this looks. It's soft and crunchy and sweet at all the same time.
It is really good and delicious.
Thanks for watching.
Hope you liked this video.
Make sure to subscribe,
Like,
and comment down below what our next video should be.
bye-bye.